hello to each and every one of you. I am back again. It is just a little bit past 6 p.m. and I have hit my 10,000 steps. For those of you that don't know, yesterday I started a walking challenge where I am trying to hit 10,000 steps daily for the next 6 weeks. Yesterday it took till 9:30 p.m., but today I was done by 6 p.m. and it was a rainy and now snowy day. So I just want to give you some tips of how I got to the 10,000 steps much quicker. Because it was raining this morning, I did things a little differently. I had a breakfast meeting and it wasn't pouring rain, just kind of misty rain. So I parked further back in the parking lot than I normally would. Not all the way to the back, but I could have if it was a nicer day. I just didn't want to walk in soaked to a meeting. But so I did extra steps going from the parking lot into the meeting, and then obviously extra steps to get back to my car. After that, I stopped to get gas, and I stopped at a Petro-Canada, and most of you know they have the big covering, and a little windy, so you did get a little bit of mist coming at you. But instead of paying at the pump, I first then went in because they have the store there, walked around the store a couple of laps, then paid for my gas, then went out and pumped my gas and walked around a little bit underneath that shelter because there was no other cars filling up gas at that moment. So that was like easily over 100 extra steps there. And then when I got home, I did some work, but then it was lunchtime and it was just, again, kind of overcast with a little bit of misty rain. Wore a jacket with a hood. It wasn't cold, and went for a walk. And that got me to pretty much halfway to my 10,000 steps by lunch break. So I worked for the afternoon. After that, I've been working on my steps since basically 4:30, and it's now 6 p.m. and I've hit 10,000. Obviously, I'm going to be walking around before I go to, the next 6 hours before I go to bed. So I will definitely do over 10,000, which is great because I know some days I might not hit that goal. And I don't want to beat myself up. So knowing that some days I went over, it's great. Now, yesterday, I mentioned that I have a theory about the Marvel Avengers Doomsday that's coming based on the trailers that are coming out. So, little bit of spoiler if you have not saw Fantastic Four or these trailers, go ahead and skip to the end. But if you're a Marvel movie fan, or really I'm pretty much a superhero movie fan. If you're a Marvel movie fan like I am though, probably everybody's coming up with their own theories, a little bit of this, a little bit of that you're hearing, but mine are basically based on the trailers and the ending scene of Fantastic Four. So if you saw the post-credit scene at Fantastic Four, basically when you see Sue Storm realize that Dr. Doom is with Franklin, first child mentioned, and nobody knows what's going to happen there. But again, in Thunderbolts, also spoiler, if you didn't see Thunderbolts yet, watch it. It's been streaming for a long time. You do see the Fantastic Four ship end up in Thunderbolts. So you know something has happened with Dr. Doom and Franklin if you put those together. But I don't think that he is the only child. The Dr. Doom is basically, I don't know, kidnapping or whatever he's doing, or stopping the next generation of superheroes. I think that that's what it is that he's going to stop the next generation of superheroes, because there's also the Avengers trailer where you see Chris Evans, Captain America, holding a baby. We knew he lived another life in another time zone. He's got a baby now. So there's that. Then you see Chris Hemsworth as Thor, and he's praying to his father to help him save his daughter. We have 3 children there now mentioned, and this has never been a theme in Marvel movies that I'm aware of. Next, you see the X-Men. Now, there's no children per se mentioned in that, but Professor X, Xavier, always treated the X-Men as his children, especially Scott Summers. And then you see Scott Summers basically, you know, the Cyclops in the original X-Men outfit. So sort of like Xavier's son. I don't really know, just not a small child, but there was always like some kids running around the X-Men school. And so maybe, I don't know about that one so much, it doesn't quite fit. And then you see the last one that just happened, came out earlier this week on Tuesday, I believe. The Wakandians, and you see Shuri, and she's like, I've lost everyone. So if you saw Black Panther 2, you watch the post-credit scenes, you know that there was a nephew that was basically T'Challa's son. But now she's saying she's lost everyone. So does that mean Doom's somehow gotten a hold of that child as well? I don't know. That's my crazy theory. You let me know if you think that that's something. I've never been one to really have a theory about that type of stuff. I just enjoy it, but I just thought they've just never really mentioned children that much in, like mostly it's just like teenagers is usually where they go back to, like Spider-Man and X-Men had teenagers, and just never usually a lot about little kids. So that's my theory. Let me know in the comments whether or not you agree, disagree. Also, I want to say thank you to everyone who watched the video and the short that I did yesterday. That was great. And yeah, keep watching as I update. I may have a giveaway at the end of the week to kind of celebrate my first week of doing my steps challenge, and stay tuned. Subscribe. That way you won't miss the contest if it comes to fruition. I'll let you know. Take care.